In a future where humanity struggles to survive in colonies far from Earth, an unexpected alien threat tests the limits of courage, loyalty, and sacrifice. When rules are no longer enough and decisions are everything, only the strongest will endure. Get ready for a story full of tension, intense emotions, and twists that will leave you breathless. So today we're going to watch the movie called Control Room. An alien ship approaches a spacecraft. A little girl runs toward a room and shuts the door behind her. Moments later, her father arrives and starts pounding on the door. As the girl stays there, unsure of what to do, her mother's face appears on a screen and tells her not to open the door. Then she hears a deep growl, like that of an animal, as her father is killed. Her mother, trying to remain calm, tells her how brave and strong she is, but she too is killed. The girl, Olivia, leans against the wall and begins to sob, scared and heartbroken. 22 years later, Olivia is now a young woman. She wakes up to the sound of white noise. She lives on the planet Hecati. Upon returning to her room, she looks at a picture of her parents. While she does this, Mira enters the room. Mira is her boyfriend's daughter. She tells Olivia she's thirsty and sits beside her with a cup. Olivia begins to show her on a map where they live. Mira asks her to show her where her friend Lucas is. After Olivia shows her, Mira asks about her mother, but Olivia tells her there are no tags that show where her mother is. Later, as she was getting ready for her shift, Olivia was interrupted by Ander, who asked her if she would consider moving in with them. She gently turned him down. Her contract only had 3 months left, and she was focused on returning to Earth after that. The present was all she could handle, though she promised to try to return someday. Later, Olivia sees a public announcement and a boy approaches her with questions about Earth. He asks if people there have animals. Olivia points toward a nearby synthetic tree and paints a picture of Earth's vegetation. Real trees full of leaves, sunlight bathing the ground, and animals making their homes among the branches. The contrast with that artificial world was striking. The boy slowly walks away. Olivia goes to the control room and finds Arlo. She asks him about some boxes on the table and he tells her about an upcoming installation. Computer. Their conversation is interrupted by a call from Mira, who sounded unsettled. Mira wanted Olivia to move in with them or take everyone back to Earth. Olivia reassures her, explaining once again that her return to Earth wasn't negotiable. She tried to encourage Mira to be strong. Before they could finish, the call was cut off. After the call, Olivia and Arlo start arguing about the issue. She tells him she made everything clear from the beginning, and Arlo argues that Ander was born there and won't understand what she means. He also adds, Earth isn't exactly an ideal place to live either, especially if you're broke. Then the alarm blares loudly. A sudden explosion shakes the base. Arlo suggests sending out a warning. As the panic builds, Arlo expresses concern for the victims. Olivia reminds him that getting attached could cost him his job. She coldly calculates that it doesn't matter. They must contain the situation. Since the cameras are down, they can't see where the problem started. Olivia heads out to investigate. Sitting alone, Arlo notices something strange, an alien ship floating nearby. Olivia joins him. They quickly restrict access to Sector 5, the landing site of the ship. But when they check the live feeds, everything is dark. Switching to ID tracking, they see a trail of bodies. Olivia immediately orders a full lockdown. She sends a warning, urging everyone to run to the nearest shelter. She then calls Mira, asking her to take cover in Sector 2. Shortly after, she calls Ander. She warns him about the attack and tells him to find shelter in the same sector. Even though the security door was nearly impenetrable, the attackers managed to break through from Sector 5. Olivia and Arlo were stunned. No human could have done that. Olivia said what both were thinking. Those things weren't human. She broadcast new instructions. People in Sectors 1 through 3 had to run to Shelter 2. Those in Sectors 4 and 5 had to go to Shelter 1. Everyone was to remain hidden until further notice. Jorge, however, had other plans. He wanted to mount a defense. Arlo, recognizing the attackers weren't human and that Jorge's group had no weapons, suggested retreating. Olivia hesitated. Maybe a fight could stall the enemy and buy the others time to escape. Jorge refused to back down. With no other option, Arlo began directing him. The outcome was swift and brutal. He and his team didn't stand a chance. Back in the control room, Arlo begged Olivia to let more people in. She refused, bound by protocol. When he tried to force the door, she locked him out using the system. Then a noise was heard, inhuman and chilling. They both froze. Soon after, screams for help echoed from outside. The cries faded one by one until silence returned. They go back to work, and Arlo notices that everyone in the fire department is dead. Olivia acts quickly. She suggests sealing all the shelters. Arlo reminds her there are still people outside, but she believes it's better to save some than lose everyone. She tells Arlo to seal the door to Shelter 1 while she secures Shelter 2, watching as Mira finally arrives safely. Arlo hesitates. His parents haven't arrived. That moment of waiting costs them dearly. The delay creates a bottleneck. The door doesn't close. One of the intruders slips inside, causing a massacre. Among the victims are Arlo's parents, Ander, and the rest who were taking shelter there. No one. Only Olivia and Arlo remain, shaken and empty. Arlo breaks down under the weight of the loss. Olivia offers a silent apology, but points out that at least one intruder was trapped in Shelter 1. Before they can catch their breath, a distress call arrives from Shelter 2. The intruders are about to get in. Olivia checks the system an hour before the breach, but through the speakers, she tells them they're safe for 2 hours. It's a lie to keep everyone calm. Olivia tries to give Arlo orders, but he's shattered and doesn't want to speak. She tells him people need help and he must get up. Later, Mira asks about her father. Olivia tells her he's safe in Shelter 1. Arlo, stunned, asks why she would lie. Olivia simply replies, "It's what Mira needs to hear." Arlo begins listing the places where people are hiding. Olivia believes everyone in Shelter 2 will die because they have no weapons and can't request backup, since the radio tower was destroyed. Arlo then begs for the 6 people still stranded outside. He wants to bring them into the control room. Olivia refuses. Protocol doesn't allow it. This sparks a heated argument. Arlo accuses her of caring more about her contract than the colony. Olivia stands her ground. Rules exist for a reason. Then Arlo changes tactics. He starts naming each person, what they do, who they are, and what they mean to him and to the colony. Something in Olivia softens. She agrees to help, but on her terms. Arlo accepts. They begin by contacting the person closest to their location. The first is Basher, holed up inside the church. Olivia assures him he'll make it to the control room. When Basher asks about his son, the boy lost in Shelter 1, Arlo lies without hesitation, telling him the boy is safe. Next is Nisho. Olivia gives him a mission: help 2 injured people reach safety. Nisho resists at first, unsure if he can manage it. Olivia calms him and promises support. Eventually, he agrees and moves out. Meanwhile, Flores and Patel, expecting a child, are still in the mines. Arlo contacts them through a backup channel and rigs up cameras to guide them. Basher volunteers to repair the radio tower to restore contact with Earth. He meets the couple, collects a homemade grenade from Patel, and heads toward the tower. While Basher moves, Olivia guides Flores to the control room. Patel stays behind, preparing more explosives in case the intruders break through again. Nisho finds the wounded, Camo and Lupe. Their condition is worse than expected. They won't survive the trip. Olivia instructs Nisho to stay with them and wait. But then the unthinkable happens. An intruder heads straight toward Basher. Olivia has no good options. She orders Nisho to abandon the injured and run, drawing the creature away. The plan works. Nisho lures the intruder, sacrificing himself so Basher can finish the climb. Basher reaches the tower. Flores arrives at the control room, where Olivia opens the door and lets her in. Olivia tries to explain to Arlo that leadership sometimes demands impossible decisions. But Arlo doesn't want to hear it. He brings up a past incident where people in the control room saved many lives. He wanted to be like that too, to protect others, not use them as bait. He tells her at least he'll die with his family, while she'll be just a dot on the screen, because she has no one. Olivia says nothing. She walks away, moved, and finds herself in another room where Flores is reviewing reports. Flores looks at her and asks what happened in Shelter 1. She asks about Arlo's mistake, but Olivia remains silent. Elsewhere at the tower, Basher contacts them again while making repairs. He talks to Olivia over the comm. He asks if she's ever lived through something like this before. She admits it's new professionally, but not personally. She lost her parents in a space accident when she was 16. She grew up in an orphanage. She signed a confidentiality agreement and, in return, received shelter and training. Once Basher repairs the tower, Olivia contacts headquarters, pleading for support. The reply devastates her. Multiple colonies are under attack. No help is coming. Not yet. They're ordered to make do with local resources. The closest reinforcement, 17 hours away. Shortly after, Basher detects an approaching intruder. Knowing there's no way out, he throws the grenade Patel gave him. The blast takes them both. Back at the shelter, Mia sees a strange yellow glow forming near the door. Olivia tells her to step back and promises help is coming. Meanwhile, Patel communicates with a cold assessment. Only 3 people can survive aboard the Renaissance ship due to oxygen limits. 4 would only last 13 hours. Flores suggests leaving Arlo behind. A tense argument erupts. Patel and Flores support the plan. Olivia stands firm. Arlo risked everything for them. Flores doesn't wait for a vote. She attacks Arlo to keep him from interfering. Olivia activates a timer to release the intruder still trapped in Shelter 1. The resulting noise would guide it straight to Patel. Olivia warns her, but Flores ignores the threat. Then she forces Olivia to open the door. She complies. A fight breaks out between Arlo and Flores. The intruder bursts in, followed by Patel. Flores tries to fight, but her shot fails. The creature kills her. Patel follows with another explosive, but he also falls. Olivia locks herself in an adjacent room with the explosive, bracing for what's coming. The intruder breaks through the door just as it's about to kill her. Arlo, still bleeding, returns and opens fire. Distracted, the creature turns toward him. Olivia grabs the explosive and throws it. The explosion wipes out the room, killing the monster. They barely have time to recover. Olivia tries to tend to Arlo's wounds, but he's gravely hurt. He makes her promise she'll save everyone. As they speak, another intruder appears. Olivia remains still, using the white noise to calm herself, and notices it confuses the creature. But the alien quickly destroys the device. Knowing time is running out, Arlo tells her to go and save whoever's left. Then Arlo charges forward, sacrificing himself to give Olivia that chance. She survives, but carries the weight of her choice. Injured, she limps to the hangar. Another intruder appears, attacking her before she can reach safety. With her last strength, she fights back, breaks free, and detonates the final explosive. The creature is blown to pieces. Olivia barely survives. As she's about to escape, something stops her. Memories of Ander and Mia. Then the promise she made to Arlo. She turns around. Then Mia calls out. Olivia answers firmly. She promises she'll find her, to show her that wonder still exists out there. Other worlds, new beginnings. She heads for Shelter 2. Once inside, Olivia uses the white noise to disorient the intruders, slipping between them to place the last set of explosives. She's about to leave when her communicator lights up. Headquarters is finally sending help, but the noise draws one of the creatures. It lunges at her. Olivia barely manages to detonate the charge in time. The explosion rocks the entire shelter. Moments later, the rescue team arrives, guiding the survivors to the evacuation ship. As Maya boards, she asks about Shelter 1 and is told there were no survivors. She walks away through the dust and debris, searching. On the ground, she finds a photograph, an old, faded picture of Olivia as a child. She tells a rescue team member that Olivia must be nearby. They start searching for her together. Olivia. Olivia. Nearby, something stirs. It's Olivia. Broken, battered, but alive. Mia calls out to her, crying. Olivia reacts, her eyes open. They look at each other. Without words, they embrace as if nothing else matters. The medical team is called to save Olivia. The nightmare is finally over. Hope you enjoyed the video.